All right. I have had not the best week.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I've filled you in a little. I've kept you in the loop as it's been going on. So Monday morning, and I wish I had a better story. I wish I had a better lead up to this. Like I was wrestling a bear that was attacking a baby or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't. All I did, this was Monday morning. It was like any other morning. The alarm goes off. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Like right away when you wake up. You're still in bed.
Rub your eyes.
Rub your eyes and you stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the first things you do.
Definitely.
And that's what I did. However, I must have stretched in a wrong way, in a way that my body did not like, because something in my upper back decided it was going to explode with pain. And what a way to wake up. Let me tell you that first of all. You know, you're still partially asleep and you just feel intense, this immediate pain.
Yeah.
Just shoot through your back. It hurt so bad that I was laying in bed, and every time I would breathe in, it would hurt even more, you know, because your body moves, your chest moves when you breathe, and your back. And so every time I'd breathe in, it would hurt again. And so I couldn't breathe because it hurt so bad. So I'm laying there and I'm thinking I'm going to pass out because I can't get enough oxygen into me. I'm taking these really quick breaths. Sarah's already at work. She leaves before I'm up. And I'm stuck in bed.
You're just panicking. You can't even breathe.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was freaking out. I was worried. So I'm hoping, I'm laying there, I'm hoping it'll pass. I give it, in my mind, 5 minutes. In reality, it was probably like 30 seconds.
Yeah, right.
And I get my phone, and I find her number, and I call her. I'm really, really thankful that she answered, because she's at work. She's a teacher. So, I called at a time, like
she could
before
answer?
the kids
Yeah.
got there. Yeah, where she could actually
yeah.
answer the phone.
Well, it's right early in the morning, right? It's right when you woke up. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So she answers the phone, and she told me, she's like, she could tell immediately that something was wrong.
Yeah.
And her mind first goes to, she told me that, she's like, at first I thought something was wrong with the dog. And I'm like, wait. So I'm
number two,
talking
man.
to you and I sound pained and your first thought is, oh my God, what happened to the dog?
That's the more vulnerable one, is the dog.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I tell her, I'm like, I can't get out of bed. And this is kind of embarrassing, but what's another thing that you do right when you wake up?
Go to the bathroom.
You go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I had to pee. I thought I couldn't get out of bed. I thought I was going to pee myself. It was terrible.
That's got it. Like when you're at the decision where it's like, okay, I probably should just pee my pants right now because it's going to happen. It's got to happen.
Luckily, I was able to hold it. She was able to leave work. She works about 15 minutes or so from the house. So she got here. She was able to help me up.
That's
and
good.
That was awful. Getting out of bed.
Wow, I can't believe it was so bad you couldn't even move. Like that sounds terrible. So
well, actually, now that I remember, I got up. Actually, I was able to get up out of bed for a second before, like right after it happened.
Yeah,
I remember I got up out of bed, and there's the windows right next to the bed, and I kind of collapsed, and I grabbed the windowsill, and I just fell back into bed.
Man.
And so she gets there, she gets me up. Thankfully, I'm able to make it to the bathroom, because that would have made this even worse. That would have been terrible. So I get back. I get back to the bedroom. I lay back down. I cannot get comfortable. Just everywhere I'm at, it hurts. Man. It's not the same pain. You know, there's a pain when you're moving, and there's a pain when you're laying down, and of course the pain during activity is worse. But it's still laying down. My pain was at, the doctor said when I went in the next day, because I had waited for whatever reason. I had waited.
Yeah, in case it goes away, right?
Right. And she said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how was it during activity? I'm like, this is a 9. This really, it really hurts. And I get stuck. I can't move.
Yeah.
And she's like, how about when you're resting? I'm like, it's like a 4. So, I mean, it's always there.
It's always there. Yeah. Because it's like your back, right? That's so you breathe. Every time you breathe, you move. You move what hurts, right? It's not like you get, leg cramp, right? Like a calf cramp, and those hurt so much.
That's what I told Sarah.
Yeah, they don't hurt when you breathe, right? It's like, imagine a leg cramp in your back, and then it just is that pain every time you take a breath, which is something you have to do all the time.
Exactly. A person has to breathe. That's not optional.
No.
So, and that's what I told Sarah. I'm like, I wish it was my arm or my leg.
Right,
it's just something else that hurt, because your back, when that hurts, everything is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Everything you do, you're going to feel pain.
Yeah.
So eventually I say, okay, we're going to go to the doctor. I'm a pretty tall guy. Mm-hmm. And we took Sarah's car, which is the bigger of our 2 cars. And so but it's still not that big.
Okay.
And so I have to like fold myself down to get into it. I was at these weird angles to try and fit myself in the car without bending, because I couldn't get down because it hurt so bad. So finally I get in the car, we get to the walk-in, and it says there's going to be a 45-minute wait.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Well, there's nothing I can do about that. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and the pain is just is intense. It hurts when I'm sitting, so I stand up. And the whole time they're playing. Have you ever seen the movie Anastasia, the old cartoon movie?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay, it's really not that great.
Yeah, it's also not a Disney movie.
It's not. No, they tried.
Confusion. That's a confusion. Yeah, that's not a Disney movie.
So they play it. It ends, and I'm like, okay, good. We'll just put on something else. Maybe I can focus on something. Keep my mind off of this. And the lady behind the desk, she clicks play again.
No.
It's a DVD. So she plays Anastasia from the beginning again. I'm like, come on.
Oh, no.
So finally they call my name. I'm like, great. We get to the back, and the nurse comes in, and I always get along with the nurses and the doctors. They have to do their stuff, even though it has nothing to do with why I'm in there. Like, we're gonna take your pulse. Yeah. Okay, I guess. Yeah, how tall are you? Why do we care about that right now? But whatever, it's their job, and so
gotta do it.
Yep, we go through that. The doctor comes in, and she's really nice, but she's like, okay, come sit in this chair and let me know. And she starts touching my back, and she's like, let me know where and when this hurts.
Yeah.
And at first I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then she touches, and I'm like, okay, ow. That one hurts a little bit. And then she reaches around me, and grabs like around my shoulders, puts her hand down, and like pulls, like squeezes me.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to pass out. It hurts so bad.
Oh, man.
And she's like, I'm sorry. But I'm like, well, you found it at least. We know what we're dealing with now.
You're like, I should not have come here. This was a huge mistake. I'm going back to the bed where I'm just feeling a 4.
Yes. The 4 I can deal with.
I can live with a 4 of pain for the rest of my life. That's fine.
Right, lady. We just found the 10. So she tells me it's I'm gonna butcher these here. 2 muscles in my back were strained: the rhomboid and the trapezius.
Yeah.
I know I butchered those. I'm sorry.
Nah, nailed them.
And she even said, she's like, you work a desk job? And I'm like, yep. She's like, so you're hunched over a desk? Yep. And I'm like, I mean, I thought too, I've been, for the last month and a half, I've been doing weights and the bike. And I'm like, maybe the weights contributed to it. And she's like, nope, actually the weights probably helped this from happening sooner.
Oh, really? Yeah. Cause honestly, when I heard the story, that you had injured your back, I just kind of assumed immediately it was because all the exercise you're doing lately.
Right.
That it just pulled something or strained something there. So that's interesting to hear that prevented it from happening.
Yes.
Earlier.
Yeah. So I will of course be continuing to do all the stuff that I was doing before, but I cannot do it this week. She gave me a list of stretches to do, and I was able to finally do those stretches today.
That's good. Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
Yeah.
Those weren't
soon
fun.
it will be no wow, though.
Exactly. I got to work to. And the best part about this sort of a pain is that it's temporary.
Exactly. That's what's good.
It's not going to last that long.
Yeah.
But while it's there, it's not going to be fun. And in the meantime, I was given 2 different medicines. The first one was a strong painkiller. I had been taking ibuprofen, which wasn't doing anything for me.
Not enough, yeah.
No. And I take quite a few. Like I said, I'm a bigger guy, right. So I would take like 5 at a time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't doing anything. Mm-hmm. So the painkiller is nice. It does make me a little tired. The other one is a Valium.
Excellent.
And it's supposed to be a muscle relaxer.
Okay.
And when I take those, I don't really feel much of anything.
You don't feel?
No, which actually works really well with the show that we'll be talking about.
You are Dexter.
Yes, I am Dexter. I was talking to my stepdad today. He's like, "Oh, so you're taking Valium?" People say they like that one quite a bit. I guess it's super addictive. And and I'm like, I can kind of see why, and I told him, like, my dog could literally just crap on the floor in front of me, and I'd be like, okay,
whatever
that happened.
Okay. So, just like spoiler a bit for the show, do you think Dexter was just on Valium the whole time?
I think that's what it was, and that's why I brought this story up.
Mind blown.
Yep.
Wow.
He's addicted to Valium.
Wow.
If you had just stopped taking that, we'd be
Did
fine.
not see that coming.
No. But that's why people listen to this show.
For the surprise endings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm taking the medicine. I actually took a Valium a little before we started recording.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so
you'll be able to get right into character.
I can already start to feel it. Now, people, disclaimer here. Drugs are bad, except when they're not. And right now they're not. If you're in pain and you need to take the drugs,
True.
It's okay to do that.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Right. Don't abuse drugs. But right now, I'm on drugs.
And it's working beautiful.
It is. The painkiller, I'll probably be sleeping by the time we end this show.
Yeah. So your Monday morning was really bad. My Monday morning, I get an email from Alex, who is great with words. So, saying that you stretched and something in your back exploded, unfortunately put a smile on my face. But then I realized it was serious and was like, oh no, that's terrible. But maybe when you're telling your friends that you're in serious pain, maybe don't be so great with the words.
No, okay.
I stretched in the morning and something in my back exploded.
Yeah. This is not going to be a fun show to do because we laugh sometimes.
Oh yeah, okay. We'll keep the jokes to a minimum.
Yeah, actually,
this is going to be a serious one, people.
Laughing. Right, worse than laughing is a hiccup.
Oh no!
If I get the hiccups while we're on the show, you're gonna know. Because you're going to hear some horrible noises coming from me.
I don't hope it happens, but it would be great. It would be great
it'd
podcasting.
Put a smile on your face.
Yeah, it would. It may put a smile on my face. Maybe I am also like Dexter.
You put the two of us together and you make Dexter.
Oh, interesting. Excellent.
Yeah. So, what show are we talking about today? If people can't guess it already.
Today, we are talking about Dexter.
Woo!
What show are people listening to today? People are listening to the First Last podcast with Alex and Dean.
Oh, they should probably know that. I think the medicine's kicking in.
Yeah, they should know that that's what they're listening to. This is, if you haven't heard us before, this is a show where we watch the first episode of a TV series and the last episode of a TV series. Yeah.
First and last.
We just let our minds make up everything that's in the in-between.
I mean, do you really need to know what comes between?
I say make up, but basically when you watch the first and you watch the last, it's pretty easy to connect the dots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the last build host, Dean, and I'm joined with the first build host, Alex.
Uh-huh.
So we know, Alex, that you have had a tough week, but how does it feel to always be billed first in this podcast?
It feels great.
It does.
It feels,
that
it feels
gives you
better
a little...
than I feel than when I'm on Valium.
Wow, that's awesome. I can't wait for a day when I can feel that. It's not today. But hopefully...
I don't see that day anywhere in the near future.
Hopefully that day comes sometime.
Right. Now, okay, my name comes first. Who came up with this idea?
I always claim that I've come up with every idea, so I'm going to say me.
Okay. All right. I actually don't remember, so I'm going to say you as well. But I'm still putting my name first.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you have to put the star's name first. That's how they do it. That's how you bill it, right? You bill the top. No one's coming to listen to a podcast for Dean. But
no.
Alex has been on 3 podcasts. Bill him first.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Oh, totally.
That's why it took so long for us to actually get this show into production, because, the contracts and all the legalese that were involved, my lawyer, there was a lot of negotiating back and forth.
Yeah, your lawyer's kind of an asshole.
He gets stuff done.
Yeah, it's true. And he gets your name first billed.
Yeah, well, that was specifically in my contract.
Okay, yeah.
That was going to happen. Also, I make twice of what you make.
That I make nothing.
Let's not talk about money.
Okay.
We should probably avoid that. I thought you made. Never mind. My guy is good.
He must be. I don't even have a guy. I'm the guy. I'm my guy.
That's probably why you're billed second, and also not making any money off of this.
Yeah, man, I gotta get a guy.
That's cool. But one of the ways that we do make money off of this is from our sponsors.
We do. I mean, I don't see any of it. I thought we were just being nice with these people, but apparently Alex sees money from this. But yeah, we got before we get into Dexter, we do need to plug our sponsor here. So the sponsor for this episode is Edible Gum. Do you ever wish you could have fresh breath without all the added stress of chewing gum? Well, now you can with Edible Gum. Say goodbye to all that tired jaw. Just pop it in your mouth, suck, and swallow. Edible Gum will give you the same breath-freshening action as gum without all the unnecessary worries. With Edible Gum, you don't have to search for a place to put it. No more gum in a receipt. No more gum under the table. No more gum inside your pants pocket. Edible Gum only has one place to go, and that's down your throat. Fresher breath, less hassle. Edible Gum. It's a lifesaver.
Here's one. Now, last episode, you had gotten a paper story.
I did, yeah.
I hadn't gotten one of those. This time around, I'm actually familiar with the product that we're plugging.
Oh, yeah?
They are delicious.
They are.
And, like, my breath is always really good. Like, I don't ever have bad breath.
Okay.
I could go weeks without brushing my teeth.
So you don't even really need it.
I think I have gone weeks.
Okay.
And it always smells minty fresh.
Wow, that is very impressive.
Right. I do want to let you know, though, that your wife-to-be, Laura, she did send me a message, and apparently I've never smelled your breath, but
dude,
she says you might need to check out the Edible Gum. Dude,
I have terrible breath.
And that's, you know what? I got that from her message.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally said you have terrible breath.
I didn't
have to read too far into it.
I'm always chewing gum. Like, I always have to chew gum because I have terrible breath. But, like, when you chew gum, I like to still talk to people. It is impossible to talk to people with gum in your mouth. I don't know if you tried it before. But I got meetings, I got to talk to people, gum in my mouth. It's horrible. So Edible Gum is really the way to go.
Perfect.
Pop it in, you swallow it, done. Fresh breath and nothing in your mouth. It's a lifesaver.
People, Edible Gum. All right, so let's get right into talking about Dexter. What we do before we give our own commentary on it is we give you, the audience, a quick summary, a quick rundown of what happens in the first and last episode. So let's kick it off with Dean.
First, Open on Dexter Morgan prowling Miami, searching for the next scumbag who slipped through the cracks of Miami law enforcement. Dexter has a dark secret, a dark urge that needs to be satisfied. He's a serial killer, but unlike his victims, he lives by a code laid out by his foster father, Harry. Working as a forensic blood spatter analyst and faking his way through all of life's human interactions, the hollowed-out Dexter Morgan spends his spare time cutting the local Miami murders into pieces. Life is going great until he walks into a crime scene containing a bloodless chopped-up corpse staged in an empty swimming pool. Dexter finds himself in awe of what this killer can do. As more bloodless bodies pop up, Dexter takes it into his own hands to follow a refrigerated truck he believes the killer is driving. The truck turns around and starts driving towards Dexter, with its high beams on, launching ahead of the victim onto his hood. Dexter returns home after the incident, now even further fascinated to find a Barbie doll head on his fridge and a chopped-up doll body in his freezer.
All right, so when I did this last, I tried to keep any and all evidence of how I felt about this show from it.
Okay. Sounds
All
good.
right, so
Yeah.
keep that in mind. By the end of this, you
No
might
idea.
think he likes it. You might think he doesn't like
Okay,
it.
got
That
it.
was my goal. So, last. Strap yourselves in for this roller coaster of idiocy. Everything is going wrong. Dexter's sister Deborah has been shot in the gut by baddie Saxon. She'll be okay, though. Doctor says so. Dexter is planning to run away to Argentina with his son Harrison and murderous girlfriend Hannah. But he can't leave yet. First, he has to take care of Saxon and make sure his sister will live. Of course, Saxon goes after Deborah, not even trying to ninja his way down the hall with a gun. Thankfully, Dexter is there to stop him with a dinner fork. At the last second, Batista, a.k.a. Hat Cop, stops Saxon with a gun. Dexter is going to check on his sister, but she's gone. Remember how she was fine from her run-of-the-mill shot to the stomach? Yeah, well, now she's a vegetable because complications? Pissed, I thought Dexter couldn't feel emotions. Dexter kills Saxon with a ballpoint pen. Let's skip ahead here. Dexter can't let Deborah be a vegetable, so in the chaos of evacuating the patients from a hospital because of an approaching hurricane, he unplugs a machine, killing her. Next, he wheels her out of the hospital, carries her dead body past dozens of people, who apparently don't notice, to his boat that is conveniently docked nearby and heads toward the storm. Calling Hannah and Harrison one last time, Dexter tells the kid he loves him and throws his phone overboard, followed by his dead sister. Cue the Titanic theme as she sinks into oceanic oblivion. Knowing horribleness follows him, or rather he creates the horribleness, Dexter decides to end his life by cruising into the storm. Hannah later reads from Argentina that Dexter's boat was found, but they uncovered no body. Sad, she takes Harrison for ice cream. The murder lady can now be his mommy. It's over now, right? Nope. Dexter somehow swam his ass out of a hurricane and is now a lumberjack living with just himself and his terrible beard. He looks blankly into the camera. Black screen. The audience is now free to do something more enjoyable, like file taxes or clean the toilet.
Okay. So, I have no idea.
That was good, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what your feelings are on this show.
Good.
Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to say something that you probably don't agree with.
That happens often.
It has, so far, has happened every time. So, I'm going to say that the pilot of this show is 100% my favorite pilot so far. I mean, we're only 3 episodes in, but it's my favorite pilot so far. And I would even say that is one of my favorite pilots ever. It is probably in my top 10 of favorite pilots. Okay, but in saying that, this finale is hot garbage. It is so terrible. Your plot summary was perfect. Every loose end that needed to be tied up was tied up in the stupidest, most ridiculous way. Every character choice was... I don't know what happened to these characters from the first episode to the last episode, but somewhere in the middle, someone took a crap on the characters and they said, yeah, they look better that way. Yep. It is terrible. It was, like, I was so, like, to a point where I was angry at the episode Not like, this is so bad it's good. I was angry at the episode because of how excited I was after the first episode. It was a hot mess. It was terrible.
So when the screen goes black, you felt angry. I think I laughed for like 30 seconds straight.
I was furious. It was so bad. It was I'm going to go and say it was the worst finale I've ever seen.
I told Sarah it was the worst 50 minutes of TV that I've ever seen.
There is not a single thing in that whole episode that is good.
No. But hold on, we got plenty to say.
Let's go back. Yeah.
The finale. Let's start with the first episode. I'll agree with you. It was a decent episode. Yeah. I'm not going to say that it was my favorite.
Right.
One of the things that you could tell right off the bat was that the creators, and this must have been a relief for them, weight off their back, just breathe calmly after they decided, we don't need to find any actors. We'll just throw anybody in front of the camera. So the search was a lot easier.
Oh, you think so, hey?
Oh, the acting was horrible. Just horrible. His sister, I was so happy she was dead at the end.
Come on. There are so many likable characters in the first episode.
Okay. Let's name more than Batista.
Batista's probably the worst actor of the bunch. I would say Batista's...
No, the bald-headed his helper.
He has like a line. He has one line.
That's okay.
He's a lab
And that's
geek.
why he's the best one.
He's a lab geek. Okay, so first of all, I think Dexter's sort of like being the psychopath and then having to fake the emotions. I think he definitely looks super scary when he's just doing whatever his when he's going and finding evidence on the killers that he wants to kill, and when he's hunting them down, I think he looks very scary. And then when he's faking the human interactions, I think that he's doing it well. I think that is the way that people interact in offices. And I believe him in both those situations. And I think, yeah, I liked Dexter, Michael C. Hall. I liked him a lot.
Right. And that, honestly, Michael C. Hall, from what I can think of right now, and even if you gave me longer to think about it, I would probably still say the same thing. The best actor in the episodes.
Yeah. And I totally disagree with you on Deb. I think Deb does... She's so pathetic.
She's horrible.
No, but she's a little sister trying to... make it, right? She's just working in Vice, and she wants to get into homicide, and everyone makes fun of her. Her boss doesn't respect her, and she has one chance to, stand up her boss, and she delivers a line. They're at a meeting, and she's got this big theory about who the killer is because Dexter gave it to her. Right. And she says right before she's going to show up the lieutenant, she says, "I'm gonna shame this bitch." And then she stands up and she just delivers the most meek and awkward explanation of what she thinks the killer is doing, or that they should look for refrigerated trucks because of what Dexter told her. It is right. She is such a pathetic yet charming little sister type.
Not even charming. Not in the slightest.
In a super rough little sister, you just want her to succeed kind of way.
You just want her to get shot in the gut, turn into a vegetable, have her machine turned off, and thrown into the ocean.
No, Deb is...
You want that from the very beginning.
No, Deb is so good in the first episode.
Her having to squeeze in a swear word every 2 seconds is so awkward to watch. But it's meant to be taken seriously. She can't swear. There's some people who can't swear.
No, he says in her very first, she leaves a message on his phone, and it has an awkward swear in there, just in the wrong place. And he says that's my foul-mouthed sister. Like,
Right.
it's her thing that she just can't, like, she swears all the time and it's always in the wrong place. That's the part of it that I like. That's the part that,
I
to
don't
me,
think
that's
that's
charming.
what they're going for. I think I think what he's saying there is they're trying to establish that, sure, she has a foul mouth. But I don't think they're trying to say that she's bad at it. I think she's bad at it.
She's just so, like, pathetic in a I want to help her kind of way. I like Deb.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I like Deb. And that first scene with Deb and Dexter, I think you haven't seen him really talk to anyone yet. And so that's, like, his first scene of faking it. Mm-hmm. And her first scene in the show, I don't know. I thought it was a really great scene.
Okay. In that scene, we're also introduced to Dexter's girlfriend. And I actually liked that he had a girlfriend as like a cover.
I did like that, yeah.
Because he couldn't feel anything for her. And he also found, because he didn't have sex. Like,
yeah.
that seemed weird to him.
He has no need for romance. He has no need for sex. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't need it.
And as horrible as it was for this other woman, her husband had, like, raped her repeatedly.
Yeah.
So
she is not interested.
It works out well that she doesn't, like, want that.
Yeah. But
understandably so.
But she has a scene where she thinks she's losing Dexter because she's not giving herself to him. So she has this scene where she tells him she wants him. And he's just so awkward. And he's like, okay, thanks. And they start making out. And then she has kids. And one of her kids calls and she has to go pick them up.
Right.
And he just, like, gets back to his place. And he is so relieved. He is just like, oh, I dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
And I just felt so bad for her at that point. Just like, oh, yeah, dodge.
She's trying to get better.
But he did say it was interesting, though. Mm-hmm. He said making out with her was interesting.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I don't think that's the word that she would like.
Right. Know? Yeah, he did not say that. He did not say that to her face.
No. So how was it? It was interesting.
It was interesting. I didn't like it, but it was interesting.
It's an experience. So, yeah, the draining of the blood and him being this, having this weird fetish with blood.
Yeah.
That worked well. So
it worked well. For like a guy who wasn't interested in like romance and things like that, he kind of got romantic about the other killer, right? He kind of got like, he was getting excited about anything this other guy was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So this other killer was like the only person who was able to make him feel something.
Yeah, and I mean, he did say in that first episode, he says, I don't have feelings about anything, but if I could have feelings for anything, it would be for Deb. So that's like leading up into the scene where he actually goes and talks to her, and then I think that's why I think I like that scene, because it seemed like, he's faking it there, but also that this is the person he kind of wants to fake it for.
Right, those feelings would be of annoyance, of hatred.
Yeah.
Of pity.
Yeah, exactly. No, of little sister. Oh, man.
I have a little sister. My little sister can be annoying. She can't even touch Deb.
Deb is not annoying. There's no way how is Deb annoying?
Deb is super...
Deb's pathetic. Deb's not annoying.
I'm gonna tell people something that I was going to keep secret. I've seen more than just these two episodes.
You don't need to.
I didn't need to, but I've seen them. My wife watched the show, and I've seen some of the episodes.
Okay.
She's awful.
Okay, but we are based on the first and the last, and
she's still awful. Damn it!
Oh man! All right,
you're never gonna sway me from it.
Okay.
So, but no. Again, first episode was decent.
Okay, wait. There's one thing in the first episode that we do need to get into, though. Dexter's father.
Sure.
Okay. So, Dexter says that he has a line in that first episode. He says, I don't blame my foster parents for the way I am. I do. I think I do blame his foster parents for the way he is. Okay.
He's totally fueling this.
This is all we know. We have flashbacks of him as probably, 10 years old, and then him as more of a teenager. Right. When he's in a 10-year-old flashback, he's talking to his dad about how he killed a dog.
Uh-huh.
His dad had found bones or whatever, dug up bones. He killed a dog. His dad asks him if he ever thought of killing a human. He says, yes. He says, why didn't you? He said, because you and Mom wouldn't like it. Okay, that seems like he's got some sort of feelings or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did it because he didn't do it because he thought the parents wouldn't like it.
Well,
then,
okay, I don't think that's feelings.
Well,
I think that's more logic.
He's got like morals, maybe, right? It doesn't mean feelings.
No, I wouldn't even say morals. Like,
okay.
He thought through it, because if they didn't like it, they would have come back on him for it.
Okay, so he wasn't going to do it either way. He didn't do it. He thought about it and didn't do it. So then you get a flash, go a little more in time where he's a teenager, and his dad bursts in and has caught him killing an animal. And his dad says, I thought we had this under control. We need to channel this. And then basically says, you know what's better than killing animals? Killing people. That's how we can channel this. You're busy killing animals. We need to channel it by you killing people. I'm a cop.
First time my dad told me that
exactly.
I needed to kill someone.
I'm a cop. I know a few people who could deserve some knives in the chest. So let's just stop killing deer and start killing people.
You know what? It's a pretty obvious transition, though.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that's the next spot to go.
Right.
There's also this weird scene. Dexter's talking about faking it. He's talking about faking it at work. He goes down into like the file area where there's a woman who I guess is able to sign out the files to people. And he's talking to her. And she says to him, and he's just talked about how he fakes all his feelings. Mm-hmm. And she says to him, you're charming, just like your father. I think that's a tip that the father is a psychopath. The father drove him to do these things.
The father didn't help. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like maybe he was already messed up, obviously, to try to be able to do these things, but the father used that because he is also psycho.
Well, we got a little bit of his father in the finale too. We got a little bit of mention of his dad in the finale.
There was a little mention, yeah.
And he came up with the code.
Yeah.
And the code was, and Dexter doesn't kill just anyone. He kills a lot of people, but he doesn't kill just anyone. They have to deserve it. They have to be killers themselves. Yeah. They have to be bad people.
Very early in the episode, he has like a guy, the first guy that he's going to kill, like that we've seen, not the first guy he's ever killed. He's killed many people, but the first guy we see him kill, he's laid out he's dug up all these children that this guy has killed and is showing them to him. And he says, I have a problem like you, but I could never do children. Like, exactly. I can never do this to children, you sicko, and then he kills them. Yes. Then he kills them by wrapping him to a table and cutting his cheek, taking a blood sample, I guess, for his trophy, and then just sawing him to pieces.
Right.
With like protective plastic all over him and everything, so he. Yeah,
he's very clean about it.
He's very clean. That's what he said. He said he's a clean monster or a tidy monster or something like that, which was a fantastic line, I thought.
And he understands blood. He understands blood splatter.
Yeah.
And what he needs to cover on the walls and that to not be found out.
Yeah, he's definitely got a moral compass for sure. Whether that's feelings or not, he definitely has a moral compass. There's a weird line where he says that he doesn't like eating in the car because it means he has to take his hands away from the 10 and 2 position on the wheel because it's a matter of public safety.
Yeah,
like that is weird for a serial killer to be saying.
But he still does it.
Well, yeah, but because he needs to eat.
Right.
But he said he doesn't like doing it. Like he doesn't like his hands not being at 10 at 2, and he says because it's a matter of public safety.
Yeah. Yeah. The first episode does give a lot that would make you want to go back.
Yeah. Number one thing that would make me want to. Well, okay. Number one thing is that I was really intrigued with that other killer, and now there's this head on the fridge and like this body part, these doll's body parts in the freezer. It's like, whoa, does this guy know who he is? Like, what is going on here? But the second main thing that would make me come back is Sergeant Dokes. You have to tell me that Sergeant Dokes is the greatest. This is the guy who is the only guy who gets the creeps from Dexter, and he just lets him know about it constantly. Exactly. It is so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dexter mentions, he's like, out of everyone in this office, he is the only one
guy. I mean,
gets weird vibes around me.
Gives him the creeps. He's a weirdo. He's like, what are you, a sicko? You watching an old woman cry? What do you like that? Like, he is so fun. I love his scenes, all of his scenes.
Yeah. No, he's good.
Dokes is fantastic.
Yeah. I did enjoy that, because everyone else, because Dexter really is a weirdo.
Oh yeah. But like because he's faking like what you're supposed to say, and he's clearly faking it to us. Like we can clearly tell. But also there's people like that, right? There's people that are just a little bit awkward in social situations, and so you just kind of like, oh, he's a nice guy. But Dexter, when Dexter gets into, there's a couple scenes where he's explaining how the blood has been splattered, and he's really, really into it. Like, he's really excited about it. That's like the most excited he gets in the show, is explaining how blood got where.
Right. And that's not something that normal people do.
No.
They don't go, ooh, blood. It's art.
Yeah. Yeah, it was art. It was art to him.
Yeah.
It was. I like the type of show it is, where it's got this killer that does these refrigerated whatever kills, cutting up the body with no blood. So that seems like that wasn't solved in the first episode. So that seems like it's going to continue on, and then you have a murderer that Dexter was after, and he did end up killing in that first episode. So it's kind of like you got these little stories and then this big story. I like shows like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, all of those, for a majority of our time spent talking about the first episode, if you were to cut me out, it would be all of the time that we spent on it. We said positive things.
Yeah.
About the first episode.
Yeah.
There's not one single positive thing I could say about the finale.
I can say one.
What? It's over?
Nope. The introduction's cool. Like the intro to the show. Yeah. The title sequence to the show is pretty cool. Because like they didn't have that in the pilot. So it's like Dexter going through his morning routine, and he's like shaving and flossing, making breakfast, getting dressed, and it's like all in kind of slowish motion and very close up, and it kind of looks gross. Like it looks like all these things like that it's violent. It's very violent and gross looking. I thought that was really neat.
But that wasn't specific to
of course
the finale.
Of course not. Just that's the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, this is neat. I like this.
And then you get to the rest of it.
So we get into the finale. So I just wanted to, since I was really into the first episode, I was really looking for like who's going to be in the last episode. So I'm just going to give a little notes of who's missing and who was there. So missing in the finale was Rita, Lieutenant LaGuardia, which we didn't really talk about, and Dokes, that cop that knows Dexter, or feels like Dexter's a creep. Some people that were back was Deb, even though she was shot in the gut, Angel Batista, the hat cop, and the other analyst, Masuka, was also back.
Yes. However, Masuka might have said 3 words.
Oh, he said like a line in the first episode and a line in the last episode. I just noticed he was back. There was some new faces. There was like a good-looking cop, which wasn't in the first episode, who seemed to have something going on with Deb.
Wasn't it great though? Because there is a recap, getting you ready for.
I skipped the recaps.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I just fast forward to the opening credit.
Oh, I didn't. I watched LaGuardia get shot, and it was awesome.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I said it was fair game because it was part of the finale.
Yeah. Okay.
and
I mean,
the
LaGuardia
one
terrible.
One redeeming factor for Deborah was that she shot LaGuardia.
Oh, no way. That is kind of awesome, because the first episode, LaGuardia is horrible to Deb. Like, they're in a meeting. They're in a professional meeting, and Deb is going to say something, and LaGuardia says to her, oh, Morgan, I didn't recognize you with your clothes on. Like, that is terrible. She's her boss. Like, that's awful.
Yeah, no, she's a despicable.
And she's always making sexual advances on Dexter. Like, that was weird.
Yes. Yeah,
super
and he's always
weird.
trying to, like, squirm away from
Yeah,
her.
super weird. Like, just coming in and being like, Dexter, can I see you in my office, please? Like, so strange.
No. But yeah, she gets killed.
Yeah, so it starts, the episode starts and Dexter is like with a kid. And like we find out in the episode that Dexter had this kid with Rita. So number 1, where's Rita? Number 2, I guess they got past the making out stage.
Right.
So I wonder if that was, just going with the, people usually get married and have kids. Because I did see a wedding ring on him in the hospital scene, so people usually get married and have kids, and we'll just do that. Or if he actually, like, I don't know, maybe he started to warm up to Rita.
Yeah. Either way, she must not make it through.
She's not there, and she is not really mentioned. I don't think she was mentioned once.
No.
Just the fact that the kid was with her. Like Dexter had the kid with Rita. That's said by Deborah. But when they're at the hospital, she's not there.
Yeah, she's probably not around anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, actually, that she wouldn't be there at the hospital. Well, I guess not. Maybe she's recovering. But so Dexter's got a new girlfriend who is hiding from a U.S. Marshal. Right. So like you said in your synopsis, that she's not a good person. She's some sort of fugitive, right?
Yes.
Murderer or bank robber or something big. This guy really wants to catch her. Like, they're trying to flee the country, and it's not Dexter who they're after, it's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did mention in my synopsis that she was a murderer.
Okay.
However, you don't know that in the finale.
Yeah. Well, you know a U.S. Marshal's after her and really wants her. Like, really wants to catch her. Elway, the U.S. Marshal.
So, she was actually not the worst thing about the finale.
Probably because she wasn't in it very much.
Right.
But yeah, she was probably not the worst thing about the finale. But the finale is so bad. Okay, let's just get into some terrible things about the finale. So, let's go with Saxon.
Uh-huh.
Okay, number 1. There's the first time you see Saxon, you get a close-up of the same ice company that was on the refrigerated truck right before they go to Saxon. Is he this killer the whole time?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well,
I bet you that was taken care of earlier.
Maybe, because they didn't say anything, right? They didn't say anything about it. But, like, you get this close-up on the ice, and I was like, ooh, this is kind of neat. And then, boom, right to this Saxon guy. Anyways, so Saxon, he's shot dead. He's fled the scene. He's stealing a car. He steals a car. He's been shot by Deb as well, so he needs to get stitched up. He goes to a vet because that's what everyone does because he can't go to the hospital. So he goes to a vet. He gets stitched up. He sees on the TV that Deb is in the hospital. Oh, okay. Deb's in the hospital. I got to go finish her off. He just walks into the hospital and walks up.
He does create a diversion.
Okay, but he creates a diversion, but like he walks in and just walks up to her door, and Batista...
well, I mean, he's got the gun like out the entire time. He's not hiding anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then Batista just comes up behind him and he's like, "Ha, gotcha." Like what? It wasn't even like a trap set. It wasn't even. What is this? This was terrible.
But Dexter was going to take him out with a fork.
Yeah, Dexter comes around the corner with a fork.
That was ridiculous.
But like, this is awful. He just walks into being caught. After why does he so badly have to go finish off Deb? Like, whatever. It was.
Well, he was creepy murderer man, similar to Dexter.
Yeah, he was definitely creepy, but now, boom, like, caught. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a little bit of a Joker-type situation. He wants to be caught. He's going to do something from prison. Nope, he does nothing. He has no plan.
They needed to end the story.
They needed him caught, so he gets caught by walking in to the hospital. Even though he's already shot Deb, he needs to walk into the hospital and to try to finish the job right at her bedside. Like no cops are going to be in there at all.
Mm-hmm. And she's not even there.
Oh, don't even get me started. Okay,
she's not even there.
Hey, doctor, what's happening with Deb? Oh, the bullet missed everything important. She's great. There's a lot of recovery time. You're in recovery time right now, Alex. Like, the recovery time is. I think you're going to be okay. So, bullet missed everything. She's just got a lot of recovery and is looking very optimistic. And then, 2 scenes later? Oh, yeah, she's a vegetable.
Yep.
There was complications.
Uh-huh.
The word complications makes up for everything.
Exactly. I had that in the summary. That's the only explanation.
What is this?
There were complications. She had a stroke, I guess, and no blood to her brain, so vegetable.
So here we go. Vegetable. Dexter finds out that she's a vegetable. Quinn.
Best line comes in the scene, though, actually.
That she's a vegetable?
Yeah.
Okay, well, go. What is it?
It's when her boyfriend, cop, I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah, Quinn,
there we go. When he says, no, she's strong. She'll pull out of it.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Miracles happen.
Yeah.
Miracles happen. And the doctor says, no, it will. That's what I'm afraid of. It will take a miracle. And Dexter just backs away and says, I've never seen a miracle.
I have this written down right now. Yes. He does a slow back away, but like still facing the camera, but just like backpedaling.
Yep.
I've never seen a miracle. And then they do a flashback to a scene of him in the hospital holding his son. Like, You know how sometimes they say, like, having a child is a miracle, like life's little miracle. Is this supposed to mean that, like, that he doesn't appreciate it, or like that he just doesn't care, or that he has seen a miracle and he's just kind of losing his mind right now?
Can he appreciate that, though? I don't know. It's really strange because he says he can't feel emotion, but then he also says he loves his kid.
He says he loves his kid. He says he loves Hannah. He says he loves Deb. He says later on, when he finds out Deb's a vegetable, he says, I wish I couldn't, I went on with so much of my life not being able to feel things. Now that I can, I wish I didn't. So it seems like he's like made some sort of turn here, and he can feel things, but still, no, he's like, I've never seen a miracle, and slowly backs away, then comes back like a couple hours later, and just unplugs her.
Yeah,
just like,
that was my favorite line.
Dude, give her a day or something. Like, you came back hours later, and you just unhook her.
Right, she had no chance. There was nothing.
Yeah.
No, that was...
It's like, Deb's a fighter. Deb's a fighter. She'll pull through. I've seen miracles before. I've never seen one. Okay.
2 hours later, unplugged.
Okay, yeah. Oh my goodness. And so they go to that flashback, and Deb tells him this story, like, about, don't you remember the monsters? Like, that's the name of the episode, Remember the Monsters. She says, don't you remember the monsters? And she tells him a story about how he's such a great older brother, and, like, he was looking out for her and always making her feel better. And he didn't even, like, that's when he was like, I don't have feelings, right? So he didn't even know he was impacting people's lives. He was just being whatever. And he was still, like, making his sister's life better. And then he's just like, oh, whatever, like, I don't need to be around my son. I'm too terrible for him.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Now, hold on. Before we get to that part, after he kills her, he wheels her outside.
He takes her body, he puts a sheet over top of her, he wheels her body outside. Everyone is just like, oh no, there's a storm outside. We must all pay attention to rain.
He picks her up. There's so many people around. And she's clearly dead in his arms.
He walks her down like a boardwalk.
Right.
Picking her up with a sheet over her. Like, he could have just murdered this person and was walking with a sheet over them onto his boat. He gets onto his boat. He sails out into the ocean, and he throws her into the water.
Yeah.
What is this? Like, an hour or two after finding out she's on life support, he's thrown her into the ocean. I'm sure everyone's super pumped that you did this. I'm sure Quinn and Batista and all these people are just so happy that her body is gone.
What a jerk.
It was so stupid. He tells his son he loves him on the phone, dumps the phone, throws the phone in the ocean. He doesn't need a phone anymore. And then takes her body, throws it into the ocean. And then, let's do it. Let's drive into the storm.
We're going straight in.
But
how does he, because he goes in there, he goes into the storm, straight into the hurricane.
Straight into the hurricane.
His boat is demolished.
Washes up on shore.
And he somehow swam out of the hurricane?
It was a fake suicide. What? He's so selfish that he actually didn't kill himself. I don't know what happened here. I actually have no idea what happened. He drove straight into the hurricane and his boat was destroyed. It washed up on shore, destroyed.
It should have ended with Hannah and Harrison going to get ice cream.
Okay, so let's get to that. Okay, you're a serial killing father, so you don't think you're going to be a good father to your son. Okay, that's okay. So you're going to kill yourself. Also going to mess up your child. Right. Also terrible. Also going to mess up your son. Is you're going to kill yourself and leave your son with a fugitive who the U.S. Marshals are after. Who really kind of got over Dexter being dead pretty quickly. I mean, she looked at the paper.
I'm not seeing your problem.
She looked at the paper and she was like, he's dead. Okay.
She wiped a single tear.
Yeah, let's go get ice cream. And so, like, what if she gets caught? Now this kid's an orphan. Great. Good job.
Yep. He's...
Dad of the year.
That's the thing, too. Like, I want the sequel that's just super bleak. This kid going from, like, orphanage to foster home to foster home. Just his...
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen.
That's
the follow-up to this. That's what Dexter did.
It's completely awful.
Yeah. Yeah, because he had mentioned that, like, all these bad things seem to follow him. No, all of the stuff, like, and he admits this, too. It's his fault. Like, everything that has happened is his fault.
Right, yeah.
Every single thing.
Okay. Wait. There's this... When Deb is still alive and everything is peachy keen because everything's fine because the bullet missed everything.
Right.
She's talking to Dexter and she's like, she knows about him. She knows he's a murderer.
Yes.
And she's just like, cool. She's cool with it. She tells him, you deserve a good life. What?
Right. Yeah,
these
things happen. People get impulses to kill other people. It's okay.
She knows he's a serial killer. She knows. And she's just, you deserve whatever you want in life. Like, she had this big speech in the ambulance about, like, she's done some terrible things in life and she doesn't think she can make up for them. So I don't know, like, I think that those are probably knowing about Dexter. I don't know what else she could be referring to, but, like... Yeah. What is that? That is so bad.
And let's go to the very end. Okay. Dexter is now a lumberjack.
Yeah. he's lumberjack Dexter. He goes into his cabin and he just looks at the camera.
He grew the worst beard.
So I guess he's like, he doesn't need to be a killer if he's out in the woods, or what? I don't understand where this is going.
I don't know. That look that he gave, it made it look like he was going to keep killing.
Oh yeah, it's like, you're next. I'm coming for you. Well, okay, and like, let's get into his killings. So the first ones, he's like, in the first episode, he's so clean, like he only picks whatever. Okay, so then in the finale, he's got to kill Saxon.
Yeah, kills him right on camera.
Exactly. He's got to kill Saxon. So he goes into jail where Saxon is. He provokes him so Saxon stabs him with a pen. He takes the pen out like a pro, stabs him in the neck like a pro, takes it out like no emotion, presses a button to call the police in, and that's it. And Quinn and Angel, the other two cops, are watching this video. They see, like, clearly this is not the first time he's done this. He, like, pulls the pen out and just jabs it into his neck like nothing.
And he's so calm about it, too.
He's so calm. Like, not only is he's done this before, he's a psycho. He's a complete psycho. They just kind of look at each other, and are just like, oh yeah, it's clearly self-defense. You're good. You're all good. Yeah. Don't worry about it. What?
Dexter delivers, like, a single line explaining.
It's like...
And Batista's like, yeah, that'll do.
He's like, Batista's like, what are you doing? You don't even work here, Dexter. Right. And his line is, I still do till the end of the week. And that's good enough. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Oh, explanation done.
What?
And they tell him to go. Like they're so not going to want to question him.
He's so clean in the first episode. And then on camera, stabs a man in the throat with a pen. And 2 cops watch him and are just like, yeah, you're good. We got everything we need. Yeah. We're fine. We don't even need to talk to you. We don't even need to take a statement. We're good. You're good to go.
Convenient not having any audio in there either.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Not having any audio. I came in here to kill you with this pen.
Yep.
Wow, that was awful.
Just garbage.
Just another awful thing. So, yeah. Do you have more on the finale, or do you want to get into our hero and zero?
Let's go right into the new segment, Hero and Zero. I don't think you're going to be able to guess who my zero is, but let's start with the heroes first.
Okay, let's start with the heroes. You actually probably won't be able to guess my zero either because we haven't really talked about him. But so my hero, it's funny how this conversation has gone. My hero's Deb.
Of course it is.
My hero's Deb. She's the little sister, and then in the end, she looks like she's like a good cop. She looks like she's done it and made it, and they kill her. It's terrible. She dies in the worst way. Like, not even climactic, right? It's just like, she's
there, no, she's not.
She's shot, she's fine. Oh, she's dead.
Yep.
But Deb is my hero because of things I've said before. I just think from my first to my last episode, she has the best. She has the best where I was feeling so bad for her in the first, like so, just like wanted her to succeed, to the end where it looked like, even though she had a speech about being a terrible person, it seemed like I don't know, she cared for her brother, she cared for, like, everyone was like there and wanted her to pull through. I don't know. I thought it was good for her. She has a couple scenes that are flashbacks with Dexter, and she just seems, I think she's charming in a rough kind of way.
All right.
Yeah. Deb's my hero.
So I decided it was actually really hard for me to pick a hero here. But I have to go with, and he's only in one episode, but Dokes is my hero.
Dokes is the greatest.
Isn't he though?
Dokes is the greatest. He's like, okay, let's try to do, I'm going to try to do Dokes. Okay. What something he says. Okay, so like, you give me the creeps, Morgan. He's the best. I got my eye on you, you weirdo. He is so fun. All he says are just super offensive things to Dexter.
Yeah. And he's not, like, his acting isn't really the best.
It's fantastic. He has crazy eyes the entire time.
You are one creep, expletive.
Yeah.
Another expletive.
Yeah. You're one creepy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's great.
He can just, like, he was very good in the first episode. I really liked him. I'd agree with your hero there.
I brought up one of his quotes here, and he says, "There's something off about you, Morgan. I should have seen it before. The fake smile, the donuts. You don't even walk like a normal person. You glide like an effing lizard on ice. It's all an effing act, and I ain't buying it."
A lizard on ice. Lizards do love ice.
Yes.
He's great. You're right. Dokes is great.
Yeah.
It's one of the highlights of the first episode, which to me was a very good episode. So yeah, Dokes is great.
He could end up being like a terrible character. I mean, I would know if he was because I'm an expert on the show.
Right. But he wasn't. He was great the whole way.
No.
Yeah. He's not in there at the finale, and he's not mentioned, but he's, he was great.
Exactly.
So zero.
I'm going to give him my zero.
You go zero. Okay, you go zero first.
I'll give zero because everyone already knows by this point that I hate Batista. No. Mine is Deborah.
Batista. Okay,
Deb
so you
is the worst.
Your zero is my hero.
Yes.
That's why we do this, people.
Yeah.
That's why we do this.
You get different perspectives.
Yeah.
We're not the same person. We don't agree on everything. That would be boring.
Yeah. This is how Canadians and Americans think differently.
Yes.
Okay, so 0 is tough for me because there are so many stupid people in the finale. Like, it could be almost anybody in the finale that would be 0. But we haven't talked about him. But I've got some great... Okay, so the guy, Elway. Elway is the U.S. Marshal, which is after Hannah. Elway gives the worst lines in this horrible finale. So Elway has been chasing Hannah, and they're always like getting away from him. They're always like just missing out. The show opens and they're in the airport and Hannah's hiding in the bathroom and he's right outside the bathroom and somehow they get out of it. So then Hannah has to get on a bus to Jacksonville because the airport's closed because of the hurricane. So she's got to go to Jacksonville to get a flight. She gets on the bus. Everything's good. She's talking to little Harrison and Elway's sitting right beside her. She turns to Elway. She goes, "How did you find me?" And his line is, "One of my contacts finally came through."
Yeah.
That's your line? "One of my contacts finally came through" is how you found her. That's just terrible way of getting out of that one.
Do you really need more?
There's a lot more. There's a few more. Okay, another one. He channels his inner Catwoman and tells Dexter that the storm is coming, which actually turned out to be a literal storm, so maybe that wasn't to channel his inner Catwoman, but he tells him the storm is coming. You better watch out, the storm is coming. And then one more, it's back on the bus scene, and Hannah's like sitting beside Hannah, the bus is driving, and the next stop, he's gonna get off and arrest her. And she goes for tea. And
it's water, by the way.
Yeah, okay. She goes for tea or water.
No. Yeah, she says
water.
I'm getting tea, but it's totally water.
Okay, yeah. So she pours herself some tea, and she goes, "Do you want some?" And he says, "What, do you think I'm stupid?" Or no. "How stupid do you think I am?" And then she leans over and stabs a horse tranquilizer into his leg. And he's out. He's done, and they escape.
Stupid.
"How stupid do you think I am?" And she just reaches over on a bus full of people, stabs the needle into his leg, and he's out, and he's done, and he's gone for the show. Elway is the 0. He is useless in this whole episode, and he's awful. He delivers the worst lines of the show.
Yeah. Now, breaking out of what we normally focus on here, I do want to bring up one other thing. I have a different hero. Watch season 4. I've seen a couple of the episodes from season 4, and John Lithgow is in it, and he plays one of the best bad guys of all time.
All right, that sounds interesting.
Yes, there's a scene that I saw that will stick with me forever.
So this kind of leads into our Would You Watch More? So our next segment, would you watch more of this show?
And now I'm going back to just the first, just the last.
Yeah, just the first, just the last.
Absolutely not. I would not watch another second of this show ever again. And even knowing that I like parts of season 4, I would never watch any more.
So I am going to say that I would watch more. This is the first show. This is the first show we've done so far where I would watch more. Just because that first episode, I thought
you would watch more 24.
No, I feel like my first and last of 24, I got everything.
Okay.
I don't need to watch anymore. But this, I really want to watch more. I just really liked that first episode. I like the feel of it. I like this weird refrigerator truck. This guy who's driving around a refrigerator truck throwing heads at people. Like, I really was into that.
Knowing how horrible this show ends, you would watch more.
Well, so here's the thing. I'd watch more from the first season, but I need someone to tell me when it gets terrible. Because obviously it gets terrible somewhere. So somebody tell me when I can stop. Or I'll just notice when it gets terrible and I will stop. I do not need to make it to the end, that is for sure, but I would like to watch more.
Okay. All right, so let's rate it.
Okay. I'll go first. If I'm going like first episode to me is like, it's between 8 and 9 for sure. I have to think about that. God. I love it. I love this first episode. The finale, honestly, is a 1. Like, I don't know. There's nothing redeemable about it. No. It's completely awful. I hate it so much. So I'm going to go right down the middle and just have to give the show a 5.
Okay. 24, I gave a 4.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, I wish I would have gone a 5, but I didn't want to go right down the middle on the first episode.
Right.
Dexter, I'm going to give, just based on the first and the last, because that's what we do. That's what we're doing. That's what we do. That's what we will be doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 3. It's bad.
Okay.
It's bad. 3.
Overall, it did not get great ratings, but again, I will say that I do love the beginning.
There we go. All right, so that's the show for this week. Be sure to check out our Facebook page, First Last Podcast with Alex and Dean. On there, you'll find which show we'll be doing next week. We provide the episode titles. It's pretty simple. First, last, but just in case you need a little bit more information, all of it's provided there if you want to follow along with us next week. So we'll talk to you then. I've never seen a miracle.
Tonight's the night, and it's going to happen again and again. It has to happen.